Hello everyone, my name is Nick Astor and I'm the PM for SOAR Connectors, and today I'm going to talk about the connector Slackbot. Before I do, I want to talk a little bit more about Slack and SOAR. Having Slack connected to a SOAR is a powerful use case. Slack has become a popular communication platform for many organizations, and SOAR tools are gaining popularity as well. Combining the two can provide some significant benefits to security teams. Firstly, having Slack connected to a SOAR tool enables security teams to receive alerts and notifications directly within their Slack workspace. This means that they can quickly identify and respond to security incidents without having to switch between multiple tools or platforms. This can help teams to be more efficient and effective in their incident response. Secondly, Slack can be used as a platform for collaboration and communication among security team members. By connecting Slack to a SOAR tool, teams can share information about incidents, coordinate their responses, and communicate updates in real time. This can help to streamline communication and improve the overall effectiveness of incident response. Finally, by integrating Slack with a SOAR tool, teams can automate many of their incident response processes. For example, they can create automated workflows that trigger based on specific types of alerts or incidents, which can then execute remediation actions or escalate to appropriate team members. This can help teams to respond more quickly to incidents and can reduce the risk of human error or delay. Overall, connecting Slack to Splunk SOAR can help security teams to be more efficient, effective, and collaborative in their incident response. If your organization is using both Slack and Splunk SOAR, I would highly recommend checking out this connector. And we actually have two Slack connectors, the Slackbot and the Slack connector. The Slack connector is meant to talk from Splunk SOAR to Slack, while the Slackbot is meant to talk from Slack to Splunk SOAR. For this video, we're going to keep the scope to Slackbot. Now let's start by configuring the asset. So we're going to go to configure new asset. I'm going to call this Slackbot demo video. We're going to go to asset settings. And so we have a few things we need to do here. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to permit all these commands. And it looks like we have three required parameters: socket token, bot user OAuth access token, and automation user auth token. So how do we get these? We're going to go to the Slack API site. We're going to click create an app from scratch. We're going to call it Slackbot video demo. We're going to select our test workspace and create the app. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to generate our socket token. Within the socket token, we're going to add connections write and authorizations read. And that has given us our socket token. So we're going to copy that and we are going to paste it there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to socket mode. We're going to enable socket mode. We're going to go to event subscriptions, enable events, subscribe to bot events, and we're going to add some permissions here. So we'll add app mention. We'll add message.channels, message.im, and we're going to save our changes. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to OAuth and permissions. We already have some permissions here added, but we need to add a few more. So we need to add chat write. We already have IM history. We're going to add IM write and MPIM write. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to install to our workspace. Allow. And this gives us our bot user OAuth token. The next thing we need is the automation user auth token. This comes from Splunk SOAR. When you create a user with the automation and observer role, you should be able to get their user token, and that's what's required here. So we're going to add this. And we also need to modify the ingest settings. This doesn't matter, but we're required to add a label. So we'll add Slack message and we'll save. All right, we got no errors. We'll test connectivity. Test connectivity passed. We'll close this. We'll go to ingest settings and we'll begin polling. We don't have to worry about these parameters for now. And we can see we're successfully polling. Now let's go to our Slack environment. So here I'm going to go ahead and add the app we just created. Looks like we have it right here. All right, and just to verify that everything's working, we're going to run this command here. And it looks like the Slackbot app is responding. So to see what actions we have available to us, we'll just run it with no arguments. And we see we have the debug action, which you just saw, argument, which you just saw, the get action, get container, get playbook, run action, and run playbook actions. So we're going to go ahead and run through some of these and see how they work. So we'll go ahead and look at the get action argument with no additional parameters. And we see we get a list of actions that exist. So we can see here's the action activate partition for the Windows Remote Management connector. And we get a description and any assets that exist. So here you can see we just get a list of actions. But if we run get action and we do -h, we can see that we have some optional arguments such as specifying a name, specifying an app, specifying an action type, and more. So we'll see something similar in terms of getting containers. We'll see it's similar where we, looks like I might have misspelled that. We'll see something similar where we get a list of containers, the container, the ID, any labels associated with it. And again, we can run this with the -h command or parameter. And we can see we have additional things we can specify. But let's go ahead and run an action with this connector. So if we go to the investigation page, I already created an incident called Slackbot demo. And we can see the ID of this container is 269. So let's run a simple whois action. So we're going to do Slackbot video demo. We're going to do run action. We're going to specify the container ID, the action name, and then any needed parameters. Let's go ahead and run this. All right, we got confirmation that the action has been ran. And then going into the investigation view, we see that the action has been generated. And we can see the domain, we can see the organization, and much more information. I hope you found this useful, and thank you for watching.